Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Weatherboys podcast. I am Derek Kevra. That is Alan Longstreet. Together we make up the Weatherboys, and this is our podcast. Hey, buddy, it's good to see you.
Hey there. You gonna do your hair before we start or no?
I thought it looked fine.
You're good. It does. I really like that green back there. That's honestly what it is. I'm jealous of your basement every time I see it, and I have to drag you down in some other way, even when it's not true.
See, I'm mad at myself because I was going to go with a hoodie today, and I see you wearing the hoodie, and I'm like, God, he looks so comfy.
Yeah, I wanted to match your basement. I'm very comfortable. I'm very comfortable. But I do feel like that's actually not a compliment to somebody when you're like, oh, you look really comfortable. Okay, buddy.
No, disagree.
Sorry, you got your, what are you, polo? Three-quarter
Yeah,
zip? What's going on over there?
It's actually a Lions one.
Zip.
But I was going to go with the hoodie. I was going to get all. Here's what I'm a little upset about. So I love the changing of the seasons. I'm excited for spring to really take effect. I'm excited for summer. I am sad to lose cozy season.
You're cozy. You're cozy bear. You're a little bear cub, is what we call you.
Yeah, I got
big
really
hairy
into
bear.
it this year. Like really into being cozy. I did, and so I got myself.
What does that? What does that mean? What does that mean? You go on a couch and you
XL
put on
hoodies.
Just large clothing. That's all cozy means. You just wear really big things that don't fit you, and they dangle on you and make you look like little Timmy when he goes for the soup.
You're GD right, it does. And then I sit down on the couch and I watch TV and I just kind of soak into the couch as much as I can.
I think you're lying. This is not the person that I know. I don't believe that at all about you. Like, you've seen a movie, I know that, but no,
I've changed.
Okay,
I'm not.
All right.
The person you know is down in the basement cutting different wood to fit the molding and paint and everything. But no, I'm done and over with that. I want to relax now when I get off of work. I don't want to go back to work.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, good. I'm happy for you then. You
Well,
found
thank
who
you.
you are. Do you want to know? Do you want to know something that happened to me?
Oh God, yes.
Do you want to? It's bad. I can't believe I didn't tell you today because I saw you at work. Stop me if I did. Actually, don't stop me because I'm going to tell the story anyways. I've as of late I've started running. I've become a runner. It's been like 2 weeks.
Why would you do that?
I know. It's been like maybe a week and a half. Okay, yeah, about 9 days. And it's not long distances or anything, but it's a little bit of running. But it's outside in the nature because it's getting nice outside. And I was
And
jogging.
you love nature, yeah?
I do. Oh yeah, I love being outside. And I was doing a jog through this area, and there are a lot of the wildlife out there. And I saw there's often geese, and I just kind of go by them. Usually there's enough space. There's no encounters. It's fine. And this jerk, I go by him on the way, and he's like hissed a little bit. I'm like, that's weird. They don't usually hiss. And then I was coming back, and then I saw him at a distance, and he moved from the ditch where presumably his home is with the puddle and his family, and he starts walking out into the road. And I'm like, okay, a human body will scare him and he'll fly away. And so I keep running. And mind you, I'm timing this interval of run. You know, I'm doing a thing. I don't have time for this nonsense.
No.
And he keeps coming, and he does the neck thing, and he's showing his tongue. Have you ever seen that before?
No.
And then I keep assuming that like he's going to turn around because he's a duck or a goose, and I'm a human. He didn't turn around, and then he starts charging at me. I freaked out, and so I had to turn around, and I sprinted away, and this little a-hole flew over me.
No!
And then stopped in front of me and forced me to turn back around. And then at that point, I don't know, he kind of squawked at me a little bit, and then he gave up and got away. So he didn't attack me, but he certainly threatened to attack me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
that.
equivalent of you. Yeah, you were at a bar, and this guy, he went chest to chest with you, and sounds like maybe he won.
Yeah. He didn't seem scared. I was scared. So
I mean, you ran away, right? Quite physically,
twice.
you ran
a few
away.
different. I attempted to run away in a couple of different. Yeah. Oh, for sure. What would I have done? What are you going to do? I mean, I could have killed him. I definitely could have. I don't think I could have done it, though. Like, I mean, I physically have the ability. If it came down to it, though, I don't know that I could snap a gooseneck.
Yeah, I mean, that's your play, right? Like, something like that happens, and it's grab the neck. That's the move.
Yeah. In theory, it's the move, but I don't know that I could actually do that if the moment
They have
required
teeth,
it.
right? Like, they do. Like, you could see they
No.
have. No, they don't have teeth?
Well, I don't know. I couldn't. No. Maybe they do. I didn't see them. We should. I don't know. Maybe we should look that up. Real quick,
grab
'cause that'll
that
take 2
computer in
seconds.
your pocket and see. It's funny that this happened because when I was a kid, I have a very strong memory of going on vacation. I don't know, 13, 14 years old,
Sure.
road trip down to Florida. And I distinctly remember we got out of the car at one point, and I have 3 sisters, and so unloading everybody out of the minivan to go to a bathroom at a rest stop or something. And there was a gaggle of geese that did attack. Not attack, they charged us.
Sure,
we all jumped in the car. One sister got locked out of the car. We shut the door on her, and she was banging on the window.
Well, yeah, you say got locked out as if it was just a neutral situation and it wasn't done by any individual. Right.
Practically sacrificed her to the geese and saved ourselves, and we did that. And to this day, my sister Kelly, I'm sorry we did that to you. That was terrible. I can't
Is that
believe
why
we did
she's so sad all the time?
Yeah, and she doesn't trust anybody anymore. Like getting in and out of cars, she freaks out. And I guess that probably has a lot to do with I'm kidding. She doesn't actually have that. Do they have teeth? Did you look it up?
They have tomia, obviously. They look like little teeth, and they're a little bit, but yeah. So apparently serrated tooth-like structures. But I don't know. I just saw that little tongue, that freaky little tongue that comes out of there. Well, and that same road before, I've seen vultures. Vultures in the middle of the road eating some dead things. It's a wild ride out here. So
vultures,
be careful.
Nature's trashmen. You knew that.
I don't know. I like my my garbage men. They're nice.
I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm not saying
like
I don't like vultures. What I'm saying is vultures will pick up all of the dead animals.
You're saying that
nature's garbage men.
You're saying that our garbage men will eat roadkill?
No.
They'll just chow down on raw roadkill because that's how little you look?
No.
That's how you look down upon them?
How dare you? No.
I didn't do this.
What I'm saying is they will handle the trash, and the vultures also handle the trash.
Do you tip your garbage men?
When they come by with that tablet and they spin it around and they say 18%, 20%.
No, it's like Christmas time, and you just put out a little card there.
I don't.
They do hard work.
I know. Should I be doing that?
It's
Honestly,
cold outside, and also sanitation worker. By the way, don't be rude.
Okay, sorry. Should this be a thing I'm doing? Because I'm not doing it. I feel like now I feel like I should.
Yeah, and your mailman?
We do give a gift card to the mail person.
Yeah,
I think there's very strict rules though for that.
How much?
I think
is a gift card?
It's got to be under $25 or something. I think we do like a $20 gift card.
Just do it on the side and give him 47. Don't be such a jerk.
How do you buy a $47 gift card?
These rules are fungible.
Yeah, hopefully. All right, so well, thank you everybody for tuning into the Weatherboys podcast. We have a very special episode today. We have had officially 66 Weatherboys podcasts.
Oh, that's a perfect number to have a celebratory best of 66.
Well, everybody waits to like one of these special numbers, 50, 75, 100. We say no. We say we're not waiting to 100. We're going to do a best of episode.
I'd rather not do it at 66. That's almost the devil's number.
This is
not
600 episodes off of that.
I know, but it's only one digit off. It's the close. I don't feel good about this one.
Does it make you feel better if it's only
62?
If it's only the 62nd episode on Spotify? Does that make you feel any better?
Yeah, by the way, it's not 66th.
Our episodes are on Spotify, YouTube, and Fox Local. And some of our best episodes, what we wanted to do today was go back and just give you some of the best parts of some of our favorite guests. And we're going to start with a man who is not just a man, and he is not just a myth, but he has now elevated himself to legend. Rob Wolchek, problem solver, Mr. Hall of Shame himself. Rob Wolchek joined the Weatherboys many months ago. This was before his retirement, but we took him back to the very beginning of his career, and we said, Rob, tell us how you became the man that is known as the Hall of Shame.
You can do better than that.
Hall of Shame.
You're not trying. I think you're holding back.
Hall of Shame.
I was wrong. You can't do it.
Here's Rob Wolchek.
And when you came out here, the investigative team was bigger than it is now. I mean, you had Scott Lewis,
Bill Gallagher,
oh, yeah.
and they had a girl named Katie Trexler they had hired. And Scott, of course, once I saw Scott Lewis, I was super impressed. I mean, I love Scott. He was my guy I looked up to when I first came here. And Scott and I became, fantastic friends. And I think we were really good for each other. Scott was, real hard ass, I'm Scott Lewis with that big voice. And he was a real hard ass guy, no fun. and I was kind of fun, and even though I was doing investigative stuff, it was kind of fun. When I was messing with the bad guys, it was kind of fun, and I'd make a little joke like, hey, where's he going to? And that kind of stuff, narration stuff, play-by-play. And Scott, so we were a great team together, even though we didn't work together on the same stories. We were a fantastic team together because he needed to loosen up a little bit, and I needed to get a little more serious. So I would do something that was real off the wall, and Scott would say to me, hey, maybe you shouldn't be doing that, Rob. I think that's a little bit over the top. And I'd be like, oh, F you, come on, man, and this and that. And
Lighten up.
But then it was like, he's Scott Lewis. I really admire the guy, and I love the guy. And so I would kind of,
You took some of it in. You
I would
absorbed
pull it back, and then I'd tell Scott. Scott would say, and now take a look at this. Now, he's doing, and I'd be like, the guy's got a pie in his face. You need to say something funny about that. You've got to acknowledge that. Say, this guy's got an egg on his face or something. And of course, with Scott's great delivery, so we worked together. We made each other better, and we were really good.
And then, but you're the Hall of Shame, the classic Rob Wolchek. Was that from the beginning, or did you develop into that?
Well, it was the first couple of stories. You got to understand, back then too, that news director, that Neil Goldstein guy, he was kind of off the wall. Like he liked. I hate to say it, but he kind of liked TNA stuff. He liked pretty girls in your story. Like when I first came here, I was kind of doing a lot of typical consumer things where it was like people picking on senior citizens and stuff. And he's like, I don't want old people on the air. Remember, this is a different time. It's 25 years ago or 27 years ago, whatever it was. And he's like, I don't want old people on the air. I want young people. And I'm like, okay, well, young people don't really. So it was just kind of a different thing. He looked at it in a different way. He was looking at it from a rating standpoint. So he wanted ratings. And so I had to adapt to doing kind of consumer things, but also getting really high ratings. So, instead of doing Granny got ripped off by a contractor, I was not, they wanted, honestly, the first story that I did that was kind of that the boss liked was a stripper who had her life insurance policy canceled because they said her job was too dangerous. And I almost brought that story up as a joke. And then Neil was like, yeah, that's the story. That's it. Right. And so that was the story. And I kind of, did like a stand up where I was sitting in the strip club and looking up at, and there was just like it was shot, where there's just a pair of legs, with high heels and fishnet stockings on. And I'm there like I'm like, well, what's so dangerous about this job? And then the girl throws a stocking or a bra or something on my head. It's all staged, of course, for a stand-up. Not like I hung out at strip clubs because I never have done that. Don't get me wrong. But, it was, and she threw the bra on my head. And I'm like, well, I guess she could catch a cold. So it was kind of, but he loved that. So then I was like, okay, so this is the direction they want me to go in. So, and then the Hall of Shame, the Hall of Shame thing was purely they were coming up. I'm not making this up, Derek. They were coming up with like these. We got to have a catchphrase for you. We got to have a catchphrase for you. And so, so they were coming up with all these stupid phrases. Like they had a department here, the promo department. They were coming up with these things like, "I'm Rob Wolchek, and I will check on it for you." That's seriously one of the things that they had come up with. I'm like, yeah, that's lame. I'm not gonna say that.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's
not good.
Yeah.
Not bad though.
But they were all kind of lame like that. But so I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't do that. And you have to remember another thing about me even getting this job. For me, it was a 3-year gig. I'm coming to Detroit. I'm going to be in market 8 or 9, whatever we were then. And then I'll work my 3 years here, and then I'll go back to Los Angeles or San Francisco.
Make a splash.
Or New York, only New York, just because that's the number one market. And
they called.
They did, yes, they liked me.
And you said, "No, Stan."
Well, so I'll get to that.
Okay.
I'll get to that. So anyway, so then I made a mark as the way the Hall of Shame thing came up. So they wanted me to pitch. They wanted me to have a catchphrase, and so we didn't really come up with any catchphrase. And so I was in there doing a closing stand-up, and Neil and my producer were sitting there saying, you need to sell it. You need to sell it. And that's right. That's why, Derek Kevra, you're in the Hall of Shame. And they were like, no, sell it.
Yeah,
So
sexy. Give me
almost as a
sexy.
joke, I said, you're in the Hall of Shame. And they were like, yeah, that's it. And then I did it. And as soon as I did it, it caught on. And it's stupid and lame, but people love it.
It's not stupid nor lame.
Well, it is stupid and
memorable.
lame, but it's memorable, and that's what it is. And so whatever, it's just like Steve Martin with, excuse me. I'm sure, people still say that to him or whatever. That's before your time.
No, I know that, but that has become a thing. I mean, you're a noticeable figure. You go around town, people say that to you. I mean, do you get scared because you busted a lot of bad guys?
Yeah, I've had some negative experiences, but most of my experiences have been great. So getting on to like New York and San Francisco and Los Angeles, I have had opportunities to go to those places. I have interviewed for jobs at the places where I thought I would go. However, and I was full on going to go to New York. I actually had flown out and done some stories for them actually out there. But what ended up happening was I realized I'm super popular here. They let me do my thing. I really like the management here. We have a lot of really talented people here. And so, and I had another baby while I was out here, my son Jack, who's now 25. And, so we had a baby, and Scotty was getting used to being in school. And, I didn't like the weather, but I was like, man, I'm pretty popular. People love me. And so when I went and interviewed for these other jobs, I always ended up saying, you know what, I got a good thing going here, and they don't tell me what to do, and they let me do my thing, and people seem to love me, and I kind of fit in here. I think Midwestern people and Detroit people like me because I'm kind of in your face. I'm kind of fearless, and I've got like
honest.
I'm not like a super dapper, in Los Angeles or something, I would probably have to be all prettied out and everything.
Get pec
Here I
implants.
kind of, put my sunglasses on as a goofy hat, go bust a bad guy and all that. So it just worked here. So I just ended up staying here. And I never dreamed I would stay here for as long as I did, but I love it here. People have been great to me here.
Well, busting bad guys has become your thing. And I know you got to go do it soon. I'm keeping you from doing that.
Tomorrow.
But-
I'm busting a guy tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I got to do prep work, though.
Can you talk about some of the stuff that's happened when you bust these bad guys? Because bad guys are bad guys, and like you catch them, and maybe they get maybe they go to jail, maybe they get a fine, maybe they get something. But do you ever worry about retaliation, that they're going to come for you because you're the face of it to them?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I do. I don't usually talk about that, though. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, okay.
I've had some real bad experiences. Obviously, I've had bad experiences over the years. I'm busting bad guys. I mean, I'm guessing probably 600 at this point, maybe 600 or 700. And, they're bad guys. There's a bunch of them in state prison right now. You saw at the end of the year last year, I had 9 people that ended up going to prison. Kind of from my stories. Certainly,
It's their own actions, though.
It's their own actions.
Yeah,
it's not my fault.
Of course.
But yeah. But I mean, I guess I'm happy that for the victims they get some justice and this and that. But yeah, I'm dealing with bad characters. So yeah, there's been some negative experiences, but I don't really talk about that. I mean, for the most part, people are super wonderful to me. I mean, people are really nice to me.
I'll tell you what, we miss that guy now. He is officially retired from Fox 2 News. He retired in March of 2026. Alan, did you have fun at his going away party?
I had a great time. It was so much fun when we all were there together celebrating the spirit of Rob and the spirit of camaraderie and the spirit of the Lord and just community and fellowship.
Yeah, and of course you can't forget the words he said at his going away party. Tell everybody what he said when he gave that
said,
toast at the end.
Hear, hear, everybody. Today I'm delighted that you arrived at the town hall, and for that I am thankful.
Okay,
And I
so
shall
you
see
clearly
you in another
weren't.
life.
You weren't there, were you?
I wasn't
were
there
at
for the interview. I wasn't there for the going away party. Do Rob and I have some kind of beef? Is there
Yeah.
some sort of something?
Look, I wish that I could say that there wasn't, but we'll never know because he's retired and he won't take our phone
Actually,
calls anymore.
do you know what I was doing during Rob's going away party?
Probably being a dad.
I was busy working, tracking tornadoes. Is what I was doing. The Union
Really?
City tornado was that Friday.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're right.
I know I'm right. I know. So I was hot dogging on radar.
Were you breaking into Fox 2 programming, or were you just?
No, I
kinda
was just
tracking
looking at it.
You're just watching it from your home.
And I was watching it because you texted me about it. You texted me, and I go, there's not. There's no tornado today. Absolutely not. No way in hell.
Yeah, it popped up. It kind of popped up out of nowhere.
It sure did, yeah.
Yeah, Rob's going away party was great. So for everybody who heard about it, it was great because Hugh Perkins showed up, Monica Gale showed up, all of these old coworkers of ours that have since retired, and now Rob gets to join them in the beautiful land of retirement. So congratulations, Rob. We miss you. We hate you because you're no longer. We don't get to see you every day at work anymore, but we're happy for you, buddy.
Ditto.
Okay, let's move on to our second guest that joins the Best of Weatherboys podcast episode.
Can
And
I
this
guess? Because I
one-
don't know any of these ones.
I know, I produced
we-
the entire thing.
Can we do the smart list thing where I guess who these people are? Because we normally don't do it, but that could work in this particular instance.
You will know this next one, and I will set it up, and I will let you say the name. So I will give the entire introduction without saying who it is.
Are you going to try to
And
make
then
me
you
seem
can
really
say-
dumb? You're
Nope.
going to say it's a very simple thing, and then in
Nope.
the end, I'm not going to know. Okay, fine, go. Let's go. Ready, go.
The next person to join our list of greatest episodes of the Weatherboys podcast is a famous Hollywood actor that we were very lucky to nab for the podcast. And this not only came with a podcast episode, but it also comes with super secret Weatherboys footage that we taped and you have not yet seen. Now, you will not see it right now. We're holding on to the footage because we will eventually turn it into a Weatherboys piece, which we're very excited about. But this individual... you may have seen him in Hollywood productions such as Brooklyn Nine-Nine or perhaps The Good Place. Alan, please introduce our next guest.
Leonardo DiCaprio, everybody.
No, that's not right. That's not even close.
Mark Evan Jackson.
Mark Evan Jackson. Take a listen.
If you're finding yourself having to shoehorn something in, having to force something, maybe it's not meant to be right now, kind of thing. And yeah, I think acting is certainly that way, and it's a mindset. You know, it's. I'm sure that entrepreneurs have failed a bunch. Like if you iterate one time and you come out with a perfect product, you will have learned nothing. You may get very wealthy or whatever, but like you will not have learned anything. It's from doing something and having to go like, oh, that went poorly. Let's look at it again. And that's what improv is all about. Like that's one thing that that makes it good for everyone. Improvisation is not just for people who want to be funny or want to be an actor or want to be a comedian or want to be a writer. It's for absolutely everybody, because what it teaches you is that, like, improv's impossible, right? You get one word from the audience maybe, and then you go and you walk into a white room with nothing in it and have to create this vivid tapestry of, you know, this meaningful relationship between two people in a very specific location.
You're not helping to make me less nervous, by the way.
You'll be great. You'll be great. But it's, you know, it's technically impossible. And so it won't go well a lot of the time. And because you're doing it over and over and over again, and all you have is one another, you go into it going like, I don't know, let's try. And when you go through it and it doesn't go well, you go, okay, that was terrible. But I'm not terrible, and you're not terrible, and we're not terrible. Let's just try it again. Like, let's look at why we didn't connect, kind of thing. So it makes you less afraid of failure. Failure is baked into life. Uncertainty is huge in all of our lives, and it makes you realize that you're improvising all day, every day. There's no script for going to the gas station and to church and to work and to, you know, to the kids' ball game or whatever. Like, it teaches you that you've been improvising this whole time, and that the mindset with which you approach it makes a difference. Like, so if you go into it going like, this will be great, and I'm going to go and you know, work with others and lift people up and not compete with them, not try to one up them. Life goes way gooder.
Yeah. So the Detroit Creativity Project. So you started that once you got out to LA. How did that come to be? What's the beginning?
So my wife Beth Hagenlocker and I have the same feelings about Detroit. She grew up in the north suburbs and loves the city, and it's her legitimate home. And then, of course, all these Detroit expats. I legitimately know maybe 200 Detroit expats in Los Angeles. And so I think it was about 2011, following on the advice of then Mayor Dave Bing, who was going to everybody that he ran into saying, come visit Detroit, come stay in Detroit, open a branch in Detroit, say nice things about Detroit. He was such an ambassador and evangelist for the city. And we all had that same feeling that we had a couple dinner parties at our house in Venice, in California, and we're like, what should we be doing for Detroit to give back? And instantly, it was almost embarrassing. It was such a no-brainer. They were like, well, let's see. Every one of my friends were like, well, improv is what's made all of our lives great. Like, it's the reason we have careers. It's the reason we're like better adjusted, kinder, more empathetic people. We should be sharing that with people. And so we launched a pilot program in a couple of schools to teach improv in at the time middle and high schools in the city of Detroit, in the DP what is now DPSCD, and it's a wonderful, like, again, it's good for everybody. Improv, the unscripted theater, the getting a suggestion and working together to create something out of nothing, which is like alchemy and just the most beautiful thing. But we did an early event at the Detroit Film Theater at the DIA, and Keegan-Michael Key was in town for that, and Tim Meadows was in town for that, and they let us tour the exhibit. It was a photography exhibit called Detroit After Dark, and they let us walk around with some of our students. So we had one high school group there and one middle school group there, and unprompted by me and independent of one another, both Keegan-Michael Key and Tim Meadows went up to these groups, and they were thrilled to meet them, obviously. And they were like, Tim and Keegan said to these guys, so how old are you? And they were like, oh, we're 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, whatever. And you've been improvising. That's so great. I didn't start improvising till I was in my mid-20s. You guys have a huge head start on me. And to watch these kids go, oh, I have a head start on these two? Like, holy cow. And, it's inspiring. And we're looking to share this even younger, because if you never forget how to pretend, like, it would be better.
So pretty neat to be able to talk to. I mean, this is a legit famous person. I mean, Mark Evan Jackson is a famous actor, and we got a chance to sit down with him in studio and talk for an hour.
Oh, it's fantastic. And it's so we say this dumb stuff all the time, like, oh, they're just a human. But he's just a human, and he's so kind, generous with his time. And oftentimes I give you crap for saying dumb things. And I was so impressed with your little boat thing. His sailing, he was so tickled when you brought up the sailing tidbit, his boat that's off the Atlantic coast.
Yeah, he owns a boat because he got really into sailing. It's thank you. You know what? I appreciate that more than you know, because I think people think we show up to these interviews and just do it on the fly, but there's a lot of research that goes into it.
Sometimes it's on the fly, but sometimes and that was a good research, because I researched this one too, and I had no idea what you're talking about. And he was, to see him I just love it when people light up. Like, he was genuinely surprised, and he was like, well, let me tell you about my starboard hatch on the Underground, or whatever the terminology is. And it was so wonderful. It was really delightful.
So after we did that interview with Mark, we did go out and we joined his improv group. And that is the secret hidden footage. And it is super funny stuff. And it is all going to be part of a much larger story. And so stay tuned for that. Eventually, you will get a chance to see us make a fool of ourselves. Should we say it like that? Yes, here's the question. Okay.
Yeah, so the Detroit Creativity Project, they do great work. And so we went to Cast Tech. And now that we're here on the cameras and on the microphones, are we going to do that episode ever? Will that ever be done?
Yeah, I thought we were going to do it with those guys because we wanted to make it part of, like, we're in a skit.
Yeah, we have two, either that or the live improv with hip-prov. Yeah. We have many different options, but this is one that I'm really jazzed about, but I'm also really nervous about. I'm very nervous. It's a terrifying thing to be on stage doing improv.
But that's what we do, buddy. We go and put ourselves in terrifying situations to see ourselves fail and succeed at the same time, and maybe succeed by failing. That's the whole point of talking to Mark.
These kids are going to be adults by the time we get this story done.
maybe we should just release it. Maybe we should make it like some super bonus clip that you can only find on Fox Local or YouTube or something like that.
Oh,
that might be kind of cool.
You could, sure. Yeah, possibly.
Or without context, it might be really silly.
Yeah, well.
Probably that.
Yeah, probably that. Probably we need a little structure. We gotta go finish it. We gotta finish the thing and make it happen.
All right. Well, our next clip is from a podcast episode from. So the reason we brought this gentleman on was because this was probably our all-time favorite Weatherboys episode when we joined the Pistons Extreme Team and went out and we shot a story with them, and just magic happened that day. And the most beautiful Weatherboys piece came of it. But the guest we brought on is tangential to that group of people, Mason, who is the announcer for the Detroit Pistons, who everybody has heard say the famous Detroit basketball. And we wanted to know how exactly that came to be. What were the origin stories of that famous chant? Folks, enjoy the story from Detroit Pistons legend, Mason.
The first selected as an NBA All-Star.
So there you are.
First. And then the same year or the following year, I was selected as the number one PA announcer in the world of basketball. So they sent me to Cyprus, Turkey.
Yeah.
And when I walk into the arena, 108,000 people go, Euro basketball.
Oh, man.
So I'm like, wow, this is incredible.
We got to talk about that specifically. Where did that come from? The famous Detroit basketball. That's you, Mason. You started that. How?
Didn't want to do it. And by then I knew what to do. You're not allowed to say anything unless the referee tells you to say something or a shot was completed or a foul was committed. Other than that, you can't talk. So they were doing a game. They hadn't been on, this is before they made it to the playoffs. They hadn't been on national TV. Kind of like what happened this year with our Pistons team of this year. So they hadn't been on national TV. And so the ESPN person sitting next to me said, this is boring. This is when the Pistons were holding NBA teams to 80, 85 points defensively. So she says, this is boring. So I could hear the guy in Secaucus say, we're going to switch to Houston. Give me a couple minutes. I'll tell you when, and then I'll count you down. And I'm like, no. We make it on national TV. Now you're going to steal it from us. People went to that game, much like what happened this year. People went to that game out of pride because we made it national.
Yeah.
And now they're going to take it from us. And I said to myself, man, you got to say something about the city. I don't know how you're going to do it. You got to think of something. So John Barry, who was a defender, he reminded me of you guys. Crazy, wild, we'll do it.
3-point savant.
I remember John Barry.
So John Barry, he taps the ball away from a player, and then there are two players converging on the ball, and John dives like he's on a diving board, corrals the ball, and it all came together. Two things, Derek. Thing one, the first thing that hit me, being on an airline, ding, ding. Don't ask me why that came to my head. The next thing was the most famous chant in NBA arenas during that time was air ball. I flipped it. I flipped that and said, Detroit basketball. And all I was trying to do was get the word Detroit out. Man, they turned to me. They did that cut sign. Pete turned red. I guess Joe Dumars was on the headset. It got ugly fast and quick. Pete leaned over to me and said, don't ever say that, man. He said, what are you doing? And then I guess Joe was still in the headset. So then the game is coming to an end. He turned to me. He says, on Wednesday, Derek, I like this. I think I'll fire me, Derek. On Wednesday, I had to have a meeting before the game. I'm like, no. It's been hard enough. I don't want to learn anymore. So I say, okay. So they then go off to Indiana. And there's a fan who makes SportsCenter Number 2 on SportsCenter was a Detroit Piston fan in Indiana who had this tremendous large billboard cardboard sign that said Detroit basketball.
Come on
and
now.
ESPN made it number 2. So now their marketing, of course, goes through the roof with that. I get back Wednesday. I go where they told me to meet. Nobody's there. Door's locked. So I come to my seat. I said, oh, man, they're going to get you. At least you can say nobody was there. You were on time. So he didn't say anything. Pete sat down. We started the game. Midway through the first quarter, he turned to me and said, by the way, whenever you want to say Detroit basketball, go right ahead. And that's the story.
Come on now. Now, okay, I got some. That's an incredible story. When's the movie of your life going to be made? First of all. Second of all, though, I need some clarifying questions. Because, like, so but was that season 1? What season was that? When for you and your?
It was either 1 or 2.
Early on. So at that point, you were learning what to say and when to say it. Were there like
I knew by
only
then.
certain words that you were allowed to say? Like why were they so mad about it? Like why didn't they just because it was different?
Because it's you don't, first of all, Murphy's Law. You're not allowed to talk.
Okay.
You're the PA guy. Just announce what you see. Foul on number 32. It's his 5th. Basket good, hey,
Sure. Yeah,
boom.
yeah.
That's it. That's all PA people did. You didn't talk in the arena. That's not what you do. You don't talk. You're the PA guy. You're the public address now.
Yeah.
So I did it. All I was trying to accomplish was to shout out the word Detroit. I just wanted people who had came to feel good about coming. That's why you came to the game. And from there, I started talking too.
Sometimes we take for granted the people that we have in our city.
Absolutely.
That's a man of the world. That is a renowned talent, and he is right here.
What I was struck by most with Mason was, like, that dude is a dude. Like, he is famous in the city of Detroit, and he came on our show. Like, he came on our podcast, and not only did he come on our podcast, he was like, oh, I wanted to be on this podcast, and by the way, I want to come back on your podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, you're Mason. We're just a couple of weather boys.
Yeah, little
from
weenie weather
Detroit.
weenies. Yeah, and his story's so good. Didn't know what he was doing either. He didn't know what he was doing when he got himself in there at first, but still, he did it, and he's doing it, and he's going to keep doing it. And here we are. It's almost Pistons playoff time again.
I know. And how funny that, like, he thought he was going to get fired multiple times.
Sure,
throughout the course of
yeah.
that first season. And now he's been there over 2 decades. It's an insane story, and I love it, and I love the success. And it goes to show we all have imposter syndrome from time to time, but just keep being you.
For sure. If he thought he was going to be fired, you should definitely be scared. So there's that.
So speaking of imposter syndrome, that's going to take us into our next guest. From the
they're going to
Weatherboys
love
podcast.
having that segue for them.
Well, I say this because this is a person who, within his line of work, he is multiple people. He is
Steven Seagal.
Garrett Fuller from Wayne County Life joined us. Now, if you are familiar with Wayne County Life or not familiar with it, it is a comedy Facebook page, YouTube page, Instagram page, I think TikTok page as well. He's got cameos, but what he does is he takes characters from his life from Wayne County. He is 3 different characters. Now I think it is 4 different characters. So, and personally, my favorite is Uncle Terry. Love Uncle Terry. But there's Uncle Terry, there's Cody, there's Dip Cup, there's Traylon. There's all the characters that come with Garrett Fuller and Wayne County Life, and we had a blast talking to him. Here he is. Take a look at the Wayne County Life expert, Garrett Fuller, in the Best of Weatherboys episode.
Wild. For Dax to even stumble upon us is amazing. Yeah, and to invite us out there and just like go to the, where they freaking record the podcast and meet Kristen, and that was just a wild day. And the Lions won. We went to the Lions game that day. It was awesome.
Take us back. So you had one line in one bit about Dax Shepard.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was a video revealing that it was Dax Shepard, but it was like Dip thinking that his fiance is cheating on him by talking about this guy all the time named Dax. And he's like, who's Dax? Mr. Perfect out here, got all this money, and he's all sensitive. She's always bringing him up because on his podcast,
right.
he always sounds like the most sensitive, awesome
Sure.
guy. And he
Yes.
is a great guy. And
Yes.
I'm like, and it would always just make me be like, why is this guy Mr. Perfect over here? So I was like, oh, I got to tap into like Dip Cup, just being like, stop bringing him up, So it was him calling out whoever Dax Shepard is.
Yeah.
And so he saw that and just played along. So it was awesome.
That was, he welcomed you in, and that was like he did a
He
little bit
mentioned
with
it
you.
on Armchair
Oh, did he?
Armchair
Okay.
Expert. He talked about it on Armchair Expert,
Yes.
which is I think the second most popular podcast to this one.
To this one, right, this is one, yeah.
I got to
Right,
look at
right,
the
right.
numbers. I
Right.
got to look at the numbers.
Sure.
But he talked about it on his podcast. Like when you heard that, that's freaking mind blowing.
And I'm no joke. I listen to that podcast. Like I listen to Armchair. And when I was told that was happening, I hadn't gotten to the episode yet. So when we found that out, that was just wild. They've been nothing but cool. We've done, we did some ads for his non-alcoholic beer company called Ted Seeger's Beer. They're starting like a non-alcoholic beer, which is actually delicious. And so we did some ads for them. It's been awesome. It's been so cool that they treat us, that they've welcomed us in, like you guys said.
So then they saw it. They welcomed you guys out. They said, because you guys, did you reach out and say, we're going out for the football game? Can we do a bit with you guys? Because you taped an episode where you go to Dax's house and you're as Dip Cup.
Totally.
And you're like, hey, what are you doing with my girlfriend?
Yeah, we kind of like reached out like, a week before maybe. It was like, we're coming out here. Is there any possibility?
Did you just
What do you
Google,
mean
did you
reached out?
Google Dax Shepard
Yeah,
email
like,
address?
what do you
What
mean?
the heck?
his DM, like he messaged us through DM when that video popped up. I was like, hey, this is hilarious.
Okay.
So now I have like,
Now
the
you
line
got it.
was
You got
open.
the in.
Right.
You're good.
Yeah. And so I was like, I'll shoot my shot.
Yeah.
We're going out there. I don't know when I'm going back. So I was like, hey, would you be up for it? And it was up in the air until about Saturday evening, maybe Sunday morning. And then he was like, hey, pop on over if you're going to the game and stuff. So we were like,
You're like, I guess we're doing that.
get in the car. That's
Great. I love the ending. Do you have Matt Stafford's address?
Totally. Yeah. Exactly.
So good. So good.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, so that was crazy. It's been so cool.
And Kristen was cool.
Dude, she was the coolest, man. I mean, they were so welcoming and awesome and just, I don't know, they felt like a family and it made me feel super at home. Like it was just like, oh, they were just, family hanging out.
Michiganders, they
Yeah.
get
Oh,
they
for sure.
get the bits.
We went right into that. Just like Michigan, everyone talking about their towns, it's just, that's all we did. They called Garden City Garbage City. It was got their digging on me, and then it was moving on. So
There
yeah,
you go.
no, it was awesome.
Now, from a business standpoint, like, does when people like make it, like this is your main source of income, it, like, is that like how much of that is from percentage wise, like social media or brand sponsorships, or is it a healthy mix, or does it like change year to year?
It's kind of been a healthy mix, and it's kind of changed. Sometimes, it's like month to month, quarter to quarter. Sometimes it's the views that got us, the ads on the videos. Sometimes it was that. Sometimes we had a couple sponsors jump in, on a video that month or something like that. So and sometimes it's like cameos. I love doing cameos. So, sometimes I'll just have like a awesome month where everyone got a cameo for Mother's Day or Father's Day. And I'll do those all damn day.
that's great.
Oh,
That's
my God.
fantastic.
And people will let me on those. They'll say, go for it, bud. Like, say whatever you want. So I've sent out ones, I'm like, I don't know, that one might get me in trouble.
Like FBI's coming for you
Yeah,
now.
I forget that's on a phone somewhere now. Like, so,
Right,
yeah,
right.
but the cameos are a blast. It feels so
that's
personal,
fun.
With the sponsorships or partnerships, I don't know what it's called on
Yeah.
social media. Do they reach out to you, or like do you say, hey, like I'm just thinking like Uncle Terry, you reach out to Ford. Like do you ever reach out to them to say like, hey, we will do it for you, or do you always have to wait for them to come to you?
A lot have come to us. I don't know how they find us. Sometimes it's so random, but like there's been other times where I kind of make a point like every week to reach out to a bunch, and that's worked too. Or at least it's opened a line of communication with them.
Yeah.
Where they you'd be shocked at how many actually will respond. So, I guess maybe if you have the followers, but either way,
Sure.
like if you just want to do some stuff, a lot of these companies, man, they're just looking for content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they might just throw you some free Tide if it's Tide or whatever. But,
Sure.
but so we are always trying new things and,
Is it Bally's? Is that or right? No.
what?
You guys had a relationship with one of the sports ones.
Oh, it's called FanDuel now.
FanDuel.
Yeah, it's
FanDuel.
FanDuel, have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Derek?
Yeah.
Yeah,
FanDuel. I know
FanDuel.
it's, yeah.
Ever heard of it?
They changed like 3 or 4 times in like 2 years.
It's like HBO Max. You're like, what are we calling it now?
That's been my favorite thing lately.
That's
HBO
fair.
Max.
Is it
They're
HBO?
going back now, right?
Yes.
I think they're going back.
This is where I'm like, yes, and it. Just go around again.
Right.
Just do a circle again. It'll be hilarious if they're that
We're
good.
not
Yeah, like, this is what
changing
they
again.
planned from
And
the
then the next
beginning.
day they
Just
release.
do it again.
Garrett is wonderful, and then of course you can't forget about the brains behind the camera. Everybody knows him as Duncan. We got a chance to meet him, but we're not sure if we can actually say, we can't reveal the man behind the curtain.
There's some intrigue here that, we don't know. We signed an NDA. We're not sure what we're allowed to. We didn't read the fine print.
Yeah, we got to stop talking about it, otherwise people are going to come for us. So that's it. So zip. That's it. The last one we're going to introduce you to on the Best of the Weatherboys podcast is one of our absolute favorite people in the whole wide world.
I know it.
He is a guy that we were lucky enough to work with for multiple years. A guy that honestly probably started the Weatherboys franchise with Alan before it was known as the Weatherboys franchise. He is a beloved figure in Michigan. He is a wonderful meteorologist, but more than that, he is just a darn good friend. Alan, the last guest on the Best of Weatherboys episodes is none other than...
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Estime.
The kayaking with Alan. That was wild.
Which, by the way, can you describe that further for those who haven't seen it? Like, what we actually did?
I mean, we inflated kayaks, and you have to remember that the Detroit River is one of the main channels where you have huge barges, right? Enormous barges. We filled one of those things up. We tossed it in the water, and we had a boat that was following us. It was a charter boat that was following us, just to make sure that we were being safe.
We didn't die? Yeah.
Yeah, to make sure we didn't fall in and die of hypothermia.
Right.
And then we very literally kayaked across the Detroit River. There were points, Alan, where I was in fear of my life.
Oh, 100%. No, 100%.
These
Because
waves
the
are-
the inflatable kayak, it sits on the water. Like if you're in a real kayak, it sits in the water, which makes it easier to. This was really, really hard. That wind, we thought it felt like the wind was just going to tip us over because like raft off a few years ago, you get those big old rafts. Like the wind will just flip you over, and it was very close, but we didn't. We made it.
Hallelujah.
If I remember correctly, you interviewed an expert at the very beginning of that story who said, this is a bad idea. Don't do this.
Yeah.
What was her name? Was it
Missy.
Misty?
Missy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think you said,
delightful.
do you have any advice? And she said, don't do this.
Yeah, she was so fantastic.
Yeah, she was.
Well, you made it. Wait, and how did you get across international waters? Because that feels illegal.
Yeah, I think only if you set foot.
Correct.
I
that was
believe.
it. Yeah.
So we kayaked up there. So technically, maybe we didn't go to Canada because we didn't set foot. Wink, wink, wink. Because we wouldn't have done that.
Right. Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not.
So
International law, of course.
we wouldn't. We would not violate international law.
But I would say that was probably one of the biggest highlights that I had was with Alan doing that. Derek, I feel like we might need to do like another one.
Let's do it again.
But with Derek this time.
Yeah,
We'll get Matt.
Yeah.
We'll the four of us will go out there and we'll kayak.
No,
it just for fun.
2 summers ago, we seriously discussed trying to come see you in New York to do a Weatherboys road trip to come find you. We talked about like doing ballet or something. We had a lot of ideas.
Yeah, did we tell? We must have told
I
Michael.
don't know if we looped you in on this or not. Did we not? Because you look very confused right now.
I don't think so, but I would have been 1,000% down for the cause.
We assumed as
Sign me up.
much.
We were going to like road trip to New York.
Yeah.
And then we were going to come see you. And then we were going to go do the New York Company Ballet or what was it called?
We thought about trying to get dancing weatherman Nick Koser too
do
because
that
he works
with
with
us.
you. But we wanted to do. Yeah, we had all sorts of ideas
And
that
I think,
flamed out.
I think we
this
were,
happen?
we were going to go. You know what I think it was going to be? What's that thing called in New York where it's called like New York Henge?
Oh, yeah, Manhattan Henge.
Manhattan Henge.
Yeah.
I think we were going to try to time it there and we were going to have you like take us there and show us all about it.
Yes.
We could still do that.
yeah,
Could absolutely still do that. Yeah. What do you guys do next weekend?
yeah.
That's
I'm
what I wanna
free.
know.
Great.
That's a non-kid weekend for you?
That's a non-kid weekend for me, so I'm good.
Okay.
Listen.
I'll ask Stephanie if she can watch my kids. So she's doing it
She's
right
good.
now.
Yeah.
So she's why she's in
I
the
would
weather.
love
office.
for you guys to come to New York. Yeah, that would be incredible.
Okay, we got to make it happen.
I mean, please.
Tell us
please.
what it's like living in New York because Michiganders, like we have our own Michigan way of life. We're drive everywhere.
Yeah.
Everything's 20 minutes away. You
Yeah.
get in your car, you drive there. Do you even have a car in New York?
I had to get rid of it. I got rid of my car within the first 6 months of being there. You know why? Because my battery died twice. Because
you weren't using it.
I wasn't using the car. So yeah, and I am so married to a vehicle, right? It gives you that sense of independence, that sense of freedom. That's what I loved about, driving around in Michigan. All the windows down, you got the stereo blaring, the whole 9 yards. You don't necessarily get that in New York when you don't have a vehicle, obviously. But I'll say I average 20,000 steps every single day.
You're gonna live
in
forever,
NYC.
man. You're good.
20,000
Why he looks so
steps.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
20,000 steps.
No, well, I came here, and you know what? The first thing I had when I got to Detroit, I flew in. The flight was super late, but I was able to still get my hands on a Little Caesars pizza. I don't know what it is, but Little Caesars pizza
yeah.
for me with the crazy bread.
Oh yeah. Now are you ranching this, or are you just straight up pizza?
Oh, no, I mean, it was pizza, but no, I definitely had like the marinara sauce.
Marinara, okay.
Oh, you dip the crust in the marinara. You dip the.
I love Little Caesars. I feel like Little Caesars is honestly better the next day though.
Yeah.
I'm put it in the air fryer and heat that. I mean, I'll eat it
I'll
day
eat it
of
cold.
for sure.
I mean, you can eat it cold.
I
and
think
still get good.
I think next
Derek,
day.
yes,
I
no?
think we know how to get Michael here. We just bribe him with Little Caesars. We're like, hey, I got an extra $8. I can get Michael some Little Caesars, some crazy bread. He'll come visit.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for the best of Weatherboys podcast episode. We could have picked any one of our guests. We love all of our guests, but those were just some of the ones that stand
Who do you
out.
love most, though?
We should do more of these because every guest is our favorite guest.
Every guest is the favorite guest.
So maybe we'll do another one, huh?
Why not? Yeah, let's do it. Oh, yeah, we could do it on episode 666 and 6,666 because I know how satanic you are. So that sounds fun. Do you know what I've been waiting for this whole time, and I'll bet everybody else has too? Over your shoulder is your shower in the bathroom down there, and I've been waiting for some creepy skeleton old lady to just crawl out of there with black goo coming out of her mouth. Oh, yeah, that stopped her. You got her.
That's going to stop her real good. Yeah. Well, hey, listen, if you are listening or watching and you're saying, you know what, I think I want to watch that whole episode with Rob or Mark or Mason or Garrett or Michael, you can do that by heading to our YouTube page, our Spotify page, or Fox Local. You can download the Fox Local app. The Weatherboys have our own section, and you can go watch all of our content that way.
We did do some episodes with women as well, right?
We absolutely did.
There were some female guests? Or did you? Oh, that's right. You used to tell me no every time I would suggest a female.
We'll do it. Well, you know what? On the next better episode of the best of the best of the best, we're gonna do a second one. It's gonna be the best of the best.
Lead up. This was the lead up to that. Yeah.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
You can't put all of your starting pitchers in one basket. Sometimes you got to spread them out. You know?
First is the worst, as they say. So yeah.
Yes. So there you go. Yep. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the Weatherboys podcast. We have so many more guests planned. Hopefully you enjoyed this best of episode. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Goodbye.